The Los Angeles Lakers had a disappointing season this year. Nobody could have predicted a team headed by LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook would be vying for a play-in position with a 28-36 record. They are Hall of Famers who possess some of the top skill of their generation. So what went wrong? 2 years ago, the Lakers won the NBA championship with LeBron and Anthony Davis leading the way. But now the team has two elder stars who need aid. There's still a chance the Lakers can turn it on with 18 games left and escape the play-in, but they'll likely have to earn their playoff spot. Despite the arrival of 9-time All-Star Russell Westbrook, the Lakers have yet to win a title despite having less than a month left in the season. So here are the top 5 reasons why the Los Angeles Lakers season is in shambles. At number 5, Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. Anthony Davis is one of the league's most injury-prone superstars, which has enraged Lakers Nation. He's only played in 70 games twice due to health issues. Davis's performances with the Lakers have been mediocre at best. Davis played 62 games in his first championship season. Last year, he only played 36, putting Los Angeles in jeopardy. Without Davis, the Lakers slipped to the 7th spot in the West, losing to the powerful Phoenix Suns. Of course, LeBron was left to do his own devices in the playoffs, and he couldn't do it. Davis has played 37 games this year, and he will likely miss the remainder. At 28, the 8-time All-Star was projected to be the team's top option. Instead, Davis has been out for most of the season, forcing James to step up instead of saving his legs for the playoffs. Not to add, Davis's shooting has been at an all-time low. Davis's injuries and inconsistent play throughout the year have harmed the Lakers. At number 4, the troops don't need Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel is a fantastic coach who made the Indiana Pacers a defensive powerhouse in the early 2010s and will guide LeBron and Davis to the 2020 title with the Lakers. Vogel, a strong defensive thinker, has proven to be a great Lakers pick. But this year, when things went wrong, Frank Vogel must share the blame. For whatever reason, Vogel has been unable to rally the troops. Frank Vogel's system is focused on defense, but he hasn't been given the resources. He is not to fault for that. Among the defensive players let go were Alex Caruso, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Danny Green. Instead, Vogel must rely on aging veterans and defensive liabilities. Even if Frank isn't the major reason the Lakers keep losing, he understands that he has to improve. No coach would have lasted the All-Star break with the Lakers' play. Management elected to maintain Vogel, and he must perform. Again, it's not totally his fault for having bad tools, but he must coach the team better. The players appear lethargic, uninterested in defense, and reluctant to improve. In the NBA, it should be the coach's fault. At number 3, their awful Russell Westbrook trade. Getting Russell Westbrook was a huge blunder for the Lakers. The former MVP has certainly lost some of his quickness, and his dismal shooting has hampered the Lakers' season. Even conceding this, the media seems to have overshot Russell Westbrook. While he is one big factor, he's not the sole one, and he's been wrongly blamed. Everyone knows Westbrook can't shoot. The point guard is only hitting 28% of his three-pointers, which is terrible for a man who plays over 34 minutes per game. The Lakers would have benefited from trading Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan, and Buddy Hield last year and this offseason. Instead, management, LeBron, and Davis should be blamed for proposing the point guard. Russ can't space the floor with LeBron James, thus he's out. With Westbrook forced to shoot numerous jump shots that clang off the basket and the backboard, the pair has been a disaster for Lakers fans. Even when Westbrook wasn't a good match, his statements and approach were questioned a lot. The media is portraying Westbrook as an anti-Laker, but he's simply psychologically ill. Having been traded 3 times in 4 years, his post-game comments are purely defensive. The Lakers should have chosen DeRozan or Hield to partner with LeBron James. Westbrook's lack of jump shooting may spell the end of his career as a star player. Sadly for the Lakers, they look stuck with Russ, which means practically all the responsibility will continue to fall on him despite the team's bad season. At number 2, the roster is old and slow. While the media frequently blames Russell Westbrook, the blame should be placed squarely on the Lakers management and their abysmal roster. Being the league's oldest roster won't cut it. The quote-unquote super team image of James, Davis, and Westbrook washed away any concerns about the roster's age at the outset of the season. The roster cannot compete with the league's young players who can shoot, run the break, and defend aggressively. The Lakers can't shoot, are slow, and can't defend. That's a prescription for disaster in today's NBA, as Lakers fans are learning. Carmelo Anthony is averaging 13.6 points per game on 39.1% three-point shooting. He's a dependable shooter, but 37 years old and a defensive liability. Trevor Ariza, Bradley Beal, Dwight Howard, Wayne Ellington, and others are in the same predicament. These men can't play big minutes or defend against young players. Malik Monk and Austin Reeves get more minutes because they're young. They can scramble on defense and hustle for loose balls, even if they lack star power. A championship team can't rely on Monk and Reeves, but Frank Vogel is forced to. Not to mention, LeBron is 37 and Westbrook is 33, adding to the Lakers' list of defensive problems. At number 1, older and less defensive LeBron James. James used to be able to make up for his team's shortcomings and carry them to excellent conference seedings. Even if he did it mostly in the weaker Eastern Conference, James could usually carry a mediocre talent all the way to the NBA Finals. He did it a lot with the Cavaliers. But at 37, James isn't capable of leading a team that can't compete for a championship. The roster doesn't mesh well, and the King can't make up for the team's lack of offensive threats. To make up for Anthony Davis's absence, a youthful LeBron James will need to score a lot of points. Not to mention, LeBron could have played both ends of the court at a high level. LeBron has been a defensive liability thus far this season. He simply lacks the ability to carry the offense and defend in transition, which has harmed the club at times. The Lakers are without Alex Caruso, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Danny Green, all superb perimeter defenders. The Lakers are a mess because James can't play defense and doesn't have the stamina to do everything on offense every single night. Well guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video. We'll see you guys next time.